uploaded to my channel.
Okay, so we just tried to start this video and it failed miserably. So we're starting for a second time. Ethan, are you bringing your B game at the very least?
Strong B game. Strong B game. Like
Yeah,
B
I'm feeling pretty good about being pretty good today.
I'm feeling just above mediocre at being mild.
I'm doing the best job I can at being okay. Today we have a song.
Well, yeah.
This is sorry, I was like, which song do I have open? This is the Wombats. Let's Dance to Joy Division. This is one that what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do sets of 3 when we record. One I've heard and he hasn't, Ethan. One that Ethan has heard and I haven't. And then one that neither of us have heard. So this is the one that Ethan has heard and I have not heard before. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell me what the genre is at the very least?
It's like I'm not great at tagging genres, to be honest. It's upbeat,
ballpark.
Like, I mean, like if I told Siri play upbeat music, this would be it. Like,
is it dancey or is it poppy?
Yeah. It's poppy.
I've never heard of it before. Yeah. So let's just dive.
I'll say one thing before is why I like this song is because although it can stray into like when you hear like a pop song that's like really one note and it's just like okay great, like like a 10 Million Fireflies Fly Before My Eyes knockoff, like just bland. This can hit those notes but while still actually being an enjoyable song.
Okay.
So, there you go.
Just from the name of the band and the name of the song, I'm a little annoyed already.
Yeah.
But let's exactly. Don't hold it against me if I despise this song.
That's fine, dude. I don't care. Whatever.
Because I'll feel bad if every song you recommend is one I'll hate and every song I recommend is one you'll love.
It's entirely possible.
It is, and I'll feel bad.
It's entirely possible.
Let's see. This is the music video, so pardon.
I haven't seen this
sounds. This isn't the song right now.
This is actually fascinating. I've not seen this yet. Music video doesn't make it less obnoxious.
This song is like 9 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm back in Liverpool and everything seems the same, but I worked something out last night that changed this little boy's brain. A small piece of advice that took 22 years in the make, and I will break it for you now. Please learn from my mistakes. Please learn from my mistakes. Let's dance to Joy Division and celebrate the irony. Everything is going wrong, but we're so happy. Let's dance to Joy Division and raise our glass to the ceiling, 'cause this could all go so wrong, but we're so happy, and we're so happy.
Music video is way more intense than I expected.
So if you're ever feeling down, grab your purse and take a taxi to the darker side of town. That's where we'll be, and we will wait for you and lead you through the dance floor up to the DJ booth. You know what to ask for, you know what to ask for. Ask for Joy Division and celebrate the irony. Everything is going wrong, but we're so happy. Let's dance to Joy Division and raise our glass to the ceiling, 'cause this could all go so wrong, but we're so happy. Yeah, we're so happy. Let the love tear us apart. I found the cure for a broken heart. Let tear us apart. Let the love tear us apart. I found the cure.
See what I meant by like generic pop but still enjoyable?
It's indie pop, I'd call it.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Found the cure for a broken heart. Let tear us apart. So let the love tear us apart. I found the cure for a broken heart. Let tear us apart. Let tear us apart. Let tear us apart.
Highly recommend this music video. This is fantastic.
Let's dance to Joy Division and celebrate the irony. Everything is going wrong, but we're so happy. Let's dance to Joy Division and raise our glass to the ceiling, 'cause this could all go so wrong, but we're so happy. Yeah, we're so happy. So happy. Yeah, we're so happy. So happy. Yeah, we're so happy.
There you go.
Oh, it was really bad. Looking up the song on Wikipedia. Here is the song that he and like a girl danced to, which inspired this song. You may have heard this one before.
So good. I know this song.
This is like the only Joy Division song you could ever dance to. You couldn't dance to Shadow Play.
Right. The name of it, though.
Let's skip ahead. You get the idea. Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Love will tear us apart.
Oh, okay.
That's
Oh,
why.
it is
That's
called-
why he's saying in that song, like, it will tear us apart, or let it tear us apart, or something like that.
Gotcha.
So-
Okay.
It was fine. I wouldn't go back to it. I could definitely see. Here's some just music nonsense for you. Joy Division is considered post-punk, which just means like a punk ethos, or like a punk band that's like turned into more artistic direction. It's after punk, and they usually go a little more reverby, artsy. Their bass is really prominent. If you listen to Joy Division music, the bass is a big part of the instruments. And I noticed with the Wombat song that the bass,
The Wombat song.
the bass was definitely more, I want to say thick, but you could definitely hear like the bass slapping in there. And that carried forward into post-punk revival, which is what Interpol and the Killers became.
Right.
And you can tell in Interpol and Killers that bass is a prominent element of it. Whereas in normal rock...
Prominent while not being the front runner.
No.
Which is interesting.
And that's kind of like a post-punk revival thing, whereas post-punk, the bass is pretty centric. If I were to show you any specific post-punk song, like this one, that doom 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 doom, Joy Division was, and New Order, which is actually the song I'm going to play next for you. The one that I've heard is a New Order song, which is everyone from Joy Division except the lead singer who had killed himself.
Oh, okay.
Joy Division came out with an album in 79, came out with their second album in 80. Lead singer killed himself. Remaining band members became New Order, released their first album in 81.
Wow.
So within 3 years, Joy Division had their first 2 albums and then dissolved, and a new band came out of it. And New Order...
With a new album.
Yeah, and New Order carried on. You probably heard some New Order songs, actually. I almost guarantee.
The title, band title sounds familiar.
There's one in Ready Player One, briefly.
Oh, okay.
When they first walk into the club. It's a New Order song.
I like that song. Very cool.
Where was I going with this? New Order and Joy Division, Peter Hook is the bassist, and he kind of revolutionized and made famous this whole post-punk.
Is such a bassist name.
It is. He kind of revolutionized and made it a staple of post-punk to have a very bass-driven song, and he's famous for playing like bass high up on the high notes on the bass as like a melodic thing. Like in here, like that's not low bass, that's very high.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
The Cure does that as well in some songs.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a post-punk thing, but I can sometimes tell when some bands have the seeds of that. Whereas with normal rock, like basic rock, basic
Right.
pop, the bass is just dum dum. It's just like the undergirding. It fills out the
Or
lower
you can switch
frequencies.
it up and go doo-dum.
Yeah, dum dum dum.
Yeah.
It just kind of fills out the lower frequencies to help kind of give the song a foundation.
And it'll
to sit
have like
on.
a 2-second solo in between the chorus and the bridge.
Yes. Whereas, obviously, even later bands that are influenced by Joy Division, like Interpol and Killers and Strokes, like Strokes, very bass driven. You can hear the bass in there.
Strokes is so awesome.
I really like bass driven songs. They're nice.
Yeah, no, that's why my favorite Killer songs, if you listen to them, their bass line is either really funky or very active. You know, like Joyride, the bass in that is very funky, and I love it.
Jenny was a friend of mine.
Yeah. Yep.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Alrighty.
I think that was an okay song.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally 100% expected you to say exactly that.
Really? That I didn't hate it. It was just like fine.
Yep. I didn't think you would dislike it, but I didn't think you would like it.
I wasn't offended by it, which is
Exactly.
the best you can ask for, right?
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay. So I think we're gonna go to the next song now. So thank you, everyone. Don't eat cheese and
Donate
drive
cheese, too.
55 miles per hour.
At all times.